Now, the AA breakdown service has been slammed after telling a caller it doesn't prioritise call-outs based on gender. The woman who'd broken down alone at night in the dark took to Twitter to complain that the AA handler had told her she's going to be treated the same as a lone man because that's equality. Now, the AA have since apologised, said breakdowns involving a lone woman receive the highest level of care if the customer raises concerns, and that handlers use common sense. So, Nadia, should women be prioritised?
Well, my immediate response to this morning was, yes, of course, because a woman on her own at night, on a road, terrified. I immediately went to, I'm a terrified person on my own. But, of course, as we've talked and thought about it more, it is more complicated than that. But what I really don't like that is that's equality. I hate that when it's used in that way, because, of course, we want equality. Of course, we're all feminists. But, of course, at the same time, there are certain situations we are more vulnerable just by our sex. But I suppose fear is just relative to whatever your situation is. You're right, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm right.
Fear is relative to whatever your situation
but
is.
statistically, women are the people out of the both genders are at more danger. However, we have to think about individual cases. We're talking about AA. We've all got a different story on how we've broken down. We haven't got the same situation. I haven't broken down in the same street you have. I don't know how dangerous that, you know, your incident is to mine. So we need a human at the end of the phone rather than a robot where you press 1 to say, I've broken down, or 2, you need... You know, if you're speaking to a real person, they have to make a judgment call, because I don't like the thought of all women getting grouped to... You can get to push the queue and go above all the guys who've broken down, because that's also
I think
not
they
fair.
have said they are real handlers, and I know this is potentially throwing a grenade into the room, but is that in danger of playing the woman card?
It's playing the fear card. Like, what you need to do is play the fear card, not the woman card. We can't say she's playing the woman card, because she must maybe want...
a lone woman at night, you know, that's the detail that you're given. That's a significant detail that you're given.
I don't know what playing the woman card means. It's not a game that we feel very vulnerable at night on our own out on a street. It's not a card, it's a reality. I wish it was a game. I wish I could say, oh, I'm going to play the lone woman card. I wish for that. It's not, it's a reality. But also, it would be a reality if your son...
But that's the whole thing. There's a whole list of vulnerabilities. There's your age, there's your gender, there's where you are, there's what time it is.
That's why I think what Sinead says is the fear card. It's like, how frightened are you in that situation?
That is a very difficult decision for the call handler to exercise common sense in, because who can quantify an individual's fear?
I don't think most women, I'd like to think, wouldn't play the fear card if they weren't feeling the fear. You know, if I had broken down in a supermarket car park, I don't think I'll be playing the fear card in the same way I would if it was 10 o'clock at night and I was in the middle of a motor on my own.
Yeah, but if you're the handler, let's put yourself in the place of the handler who's sitting there and they have got a whole list of people, they've got a limited number of people to go out to see them, and they've got an elderly gentleman who is 75, who is very confused and doesn't really know what's doing. They've got your son who says, I've broken down in an area, it feels really, really, really heavy and I'm really worried about it. They've got somebody else with disability. I don't know, you could go through the list. What's the decision? I mean, would you like to think your son was given the same treatment as your daughter?
Yeah, I'd like to think that they'd both get the same treatment. In fact, my daughters would probably cope with it better than my son, because he'd be lost, he wouldn't have a clue what to do. And it all depends on where you've broken down. If it's in a country road somewhere and you're on your own and that, then obviously, no matter what, if it's a man or a woman, no matter who it is, you'd go to the person that needs you the most. Yeah. And they are the knights of the road, AA. You know, like they've been looking after us for many years now, and most of the time they do a really, really good job and they get to us as quick as they can and they sort out the problem really quickly.
And they do say they take location.
They take location. So you're not going to be able to have that con of, like, saying, oh, I'm a woman, I'm on my own, I'm in a car park, in a supermarket, because they're going to know.
But, I mean,
it's very difficult.
And it is, you know, just something we've come to live with nowadays because of Twitter and all these kind of immediate means of communication, that actually a very complex kind of situation gets reduced to a very simplistic, you know, binary yes or no, are women, you know, to be prioritised over men.
And I'll be honest, this isn't a story that we've heard repetitively over the years, like, oh, you know, did you hear about another AA leaving a woman stranded for 2 hours or whatever? So it does feel like maybe...
Because I've heard stories where they have come out at first because it's a woman. So.
Right.
Well,
It's difficult. I think we decided it's difficult.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not in the AA.
Difficult. That's what we've decided. That one is difficult. They've certainly saved
It's
my
very
life.
difficult.
AA.
It's very, very difficult.
That's our considered opinion. It's really difficult.